Dodge, Yahoo, Phantom of the Forest, you Spear, Finger, Fire Dragon, Ohio Grassman, Silver Giant, Bloodless Howler, West Virginia Vampire, Coyote King, Hogzilla, Devil, Dark Coyote Killer. Cave creature, Mothman, Smoke Wolf, Lizard Demon, Ashman, Grafton Monster, Cow-killing Bastard, Shadow Creature, Dustman, Cherokee, Death Cat, Wild Man, Great Fire Rape. What else do I have to say? Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber. Catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet. Snarly Gastro Team, Red Island Bear Beast, Silver Giant, Squalling Savage, Black Wolf was kind of average, Stone Giant, Raven Mocker, Midnight Whistler, Wampus Beast, Wawa Woman, Ohio Grassman again. Technically Huckleberry Wolfman or Wolf County, need to find the X again if we hunt the Lightning Man. Webster's Werewolf, Daily Howl, Kentucky Hellhound, Little Girl, Headless Horror, I can't take it anymore. Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber. Catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet.
Well, this here's BIGFEETS, the only Mountain Monsters watch-along podcast. I'm Robert Brockway, and I don't mean to spoil anything. We'll get into it. We'll get into it next episode, but we're about to talk about the last episode of Mountain Monsters when Trapper was still alive. And I'm sorry. I got a little corn in my eye. Sean, go ahead.
It would be my pleasure. I'm Sean, baby. All my effort and training had been for nothing. Although in the beginning I'd become involved in martial arts as an inexpensive form of recreation, my developing skills had provided me with a new sense of purpose and self-worth. Now that confidence had turned on me and been proven false, I would never succeed. I was a chubby loser who'd never accomplish anything. Everything I did was doomed to failure. I did not hear anyone enter the locker room, so I was startled when a voice asked, "When your opponent is swifter, stronger, and more experienced than you, what must you do?" I raised my tear-stained face to look at the speaker. Before me stood an old Oriental man. If I stood up, I'd tower over him. "Run like hell," I snarled sarcastically. He smiled and took a few steps forward. He made no sound when he moved, and his movements contained a youthfulness. He did not slouch or drag his feet the way old people I knew did. His onyx black eyes mirrored his smile. "Perhaps," he replied, "but the outcome would nonetheless be inevitable. I would say one should learn to die well." "What do you want?" I demanded. I was not usually so rude, but disappointment overwhelmed my better nature to the point where I no longer cared. "Merely to say that I think you have the potential to die very well."
I have to know what happens next. No, I can't do my intro. I am New York Times bestselling author Jason Pargin, but I have to. No, I need to know what came after that.
He dies.
He can only have attacked him. Yeah, he can only have killed him. That's the last chapter. That's when Frank Dukes
the guy
died.
from Bloodsport. That's the guy that cuts his hat in half in Bloodsport. He trains with his nephew by fighting dogs.
Had to track that guy down and get him to sign a waiver to let him be put into the movie and depicted 100% accurately.
Accurately, using the same name as that James Bond villain.
That's a ... in the chapter, and then it just picks right up at the part where he's like, got Van Damme just splay-legged, tied to all the trees, and is just yanking him into the splits. Like, you have the potential to die well. Not like this. This is a bad one.
This is a bad death.
Fucking Frank Dukes, man. We gotta do it. Ants!
That's actually how it ended.
Cord! God damn it, I forget what we're doing. Every time you do this to us, I'm like, I'm automatically assume this is the podcast. It's not the podcast. All right, plugs. Let's do plugs. Jason, what do you want to plug today?
My next book is, in fact, now up for pre-order. Buy Robert's book instead, but if you have extra money to also pre-order my book months and months and months in advance. The title is There Are No Giant Crabs in This Novel, a Novel of Giant Crabs. That is
a great
titled.
Yeah.
The buy links you can get at bit.ly/crabs. It's the word crabs 3 times. bit.ly/crabs.
Still the king of the shitpost title. Never going to dethrone you. I can try. It's not going to happen. Sean, what would you like to plug today?
1-900-HOT-DOG. It's our comedy website. We're doing it like the old days. Go to patreon.com/1-900-HOT-DOG. That's how we fund this in whole endeavor. And then you get jokes, and we send right to your email every day, or you can go to the website and read them there. Either way.
Multiple ways to read jokes. It's amazing. It's amazing that we're still doing this. The world has clearly moved on from us.
The world has moved on like 6 different ways.
Yeah.
The thing that it moved on to is dead, and then the thing it moved on to after that, also dead.
Right.
I don't even know what you call it when the thing that replaced you has died over and over again.
And the new thing right now is dying.
Sure. But it's text and pictures, and they're funny and written by professional comedy writers.
Who were paid to do it. One of
Paid
the
to do it.
very few places that you can still be paid to do this stuff. And I mean, very few.
To be clear, in human money. In real
money.
like human dollars.
Yeah, probably 10 times more than you're thinking if you're a young content creator.
Oh, way more than that.
Maybe 20, 30.
It's like a good 100, I would say. Okay, my turn. I, of course, am legally obligated to promote my new book. It's called I Will Kill Your Imaginary Friend for $200. It is out now. It's out. It's out, baby. It's out in stores near you. It's getting really good reviews. People seem to genuinely like it. None of that matters to me, because as you can see, if you're watching the video podcast, I am here in prison. They have allowed me a few creature comforts. I got some nice curtains. I brought my Jackie Chan poster. And
to hide the tunnel.
Yeah, no, you know what? This is a narc-free podcast. It's to hide the tunnel. I'm doing a Shawshank behind Jackie. Anyway, you guys need to keep buying the book, because I need stuff from the commissary. If I don't get, let's say, ham and cheese Hot Pockets this week, I'm going to take the entire site down. I'm going to take Jason down. I'm going to take Sean down. All I want's a Hot Pocket. That's not that many sales. We can do that. Please buy my book. Get me a Hot
You're
Pocket.
getting so cocky. You talk like you know you're going to get that Hot Pocket. I
feel really good, man. We got the Rice Krispie treat. We're on the way to that pewter skull ring that I was talking about in the other podcast. I'm feeling on top of the world. To be honest, can I be real? Prison's pretty kick-ass. Like, you know what they do? They limit your internet access.
Oh my God.
That's all that's all I ask for, honestly.
If you promise to pay for it, will they let you stay there? Just with that, or do you have to do a crime?
You have to do a crime, but here's the thing: you can do crimes in prison. They will just add stuff onto your sentence. So like every time it looks like I might get out, I just go up and I stab a couple guys, and they right back in,
Unlimited karate, no ladies mouthing off. It's the best.
It's kind of
to be clear,
it's kind of great.
The tunnel behind his Jackie Chan poster goes deeper into the prison. He's trying to get into.
Yeah.
Right.
He wants to be farther away from the outside.
There are nicer parts of the prison than the one I'm in. I'm hoping to get there like naturally through book sales. Thank you for everybody for your book sales. But they got a pool, they got a water slide, and that's where the tunnel's going. I'm actually just gonna make it into my own water slide. Just gonna reroute the toilet down there, and then I got it made. That's it. That's somehow my plug.
Good plug.
We're wasting time because this is the season finale. All of America has watched the season finale of Mountain Monsters from 5 years ago. Everybody's waiting. This is the after show. They're waiting to hear us talk about all of the revelations that occurred. The first season where they had a writer to bring all this stuff together. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm still processing it.
If you're watching along at home, it's called Mountain Monsters. The Twisted Torch is the name of the episode. Still no official order, even though they were talking about it. There's probably an order out there where this is like the first episode in a season. Everybody's just like, what the fuck is... Let's do a previously on, because as Jason said, this is the season finale, and they started off this season doing, Monster of the Week episodes. It quickly devolved into another serial storyline, so we've got a lot to get through here to catch you up. So... previously on Mountain Monsters, Huckleberry took erotic showers for a psychic Bigfoot, and that unlocked the word bottom. That can't be the end of my notes. That's the end of my notes.
You're making it sound offensive. It was the word bottom in Cherokee, and the Bigfoot that he showered for was a Cherokee Bigfoot that they used to, if you don't remember from the first Cherokee Devil episode, it was the Bigfoot that the Native Americans used as their champion to go to war with other tribes that had their own Bigfoot to fight on their behalf. Also, the Bigfoot is a man who can transform himself into a Bigfoot, and in that form, he married a child, and the child did not survive that process and is now a ghost.
Not as a man. He was not a man. He was a Bigfoot.
That would
just
have been
for
illegal.
legal reasons.
Right.
It's very important.
I was going to do a bit about how nothing happened the whole season, like they saw a druid, was going to be my recap. But what I can still do the same bit by saying, Brockway, half of the thing you said hasn't happened yet. They don't know it says bottom yet.
Okay, so we jump straight into the action. They don't know what the word means yet, but they have found it. They have found 2 copies of the word, and they're like, oh my God. Huckleberry hilariously sees that there are 2 copies of the same word and goes, I don't think this is a coincidence. Was that on the table? Like, were we gonna, there was a possibility that if we would only found the one word, you'd be like, that's a coincidence. That's unrelated.
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out what the word they found last episode means, and Willie tells everybody, "Don't worry." He says, "Old Buck, he's got Cherokee blood in him. He'll figure it out." And Buck turns to him and says, "I got it. I promise." And then he takes a little bit to think, and he says, "It'll take me some time, but I've got it."
I guess we all have the internet. We all know that you could theoretically look up some Cherokee words,
This
get to a
is
Cherokee
2019.
dictionary. Even translators can do some native languages, and Cherokee is one of the more common.
Okay, so I did check. This is 2019 when they're filming this.
Okay.
I did look up Cherokee to English and English to Cherokee dictionary. It has been online since 2019, and you can just look this word up and find the definition within seconds, which I did.
It is hard to spell because it is penis picture 00 fleur de lis P, which is.
But they have a little handy thing where you can just put in, I want penis picture and flirty T, and it'll be like, oh yeah.
The word they used is the actual Cherokee word for bottom or underneath or down. To be clear, they did take the effort to find the actual.
Yeah, they went to that website.
Before we make fun of their font too much, this is genuine. Because if nothing else, the show wants to make clear, hey, we are honoring our Native American heritage. Mm-hmm. We treat it with the utmost respect. Now, let's get back to the story, which is a Cherokee man did an evil ritual to turn himself into a shapeshifter, which he now carries a torch and wanders around in a cloak. He then turned himself into a Bigfoot, married a small child. The child, for reasons we don't know, did not survive that process and has been haunting this area ever since. Then in the last 2 episodes ago, he made Huckleberry shower nude for him, or rather he recovered the memory of that happening, of him forcing Huckleberry and 2 other strangers to shower nude under a waterfall.
No, and never mind about those strangers.
Yeah, nobody cares what.
Yeah, they were never seen again, as far as anybody knows.
Yeah, they didn't. They didn't make it out of that.
So they come from a universe where they know dictionaries exist, where they know Google Translate exists, and they're still like, "Oh, how are we going to look this up?" And there's a moment I really liked where Buck says, we're going to hit those Cherokee books. And Huckleberry says, that might be a hell of a job itself. But this is a guy who went to his council of elders to ask how to kill the ghost of the Trail of Tears. I feel like it doesn't take that long to ask a receptionist at the Indian Council of Elders.
Yeah, I mean, Huckleberry apparently lives on the res. He can just ask his neighbor.
They all... They should know this is not a big task to look up one word. They could do it on their phones right now.
And yet they decide that's the one thing they've accomplished here. So it's time to get the fuck out.
Get the hell out.
It's time to get the fuck out of here.
I love the structure of these episodes where it starts out picking up from the failure huddle of last week. It's like, what did we discover? Well, we found out that the Red Shed and this rock overhang, the only 2 locations in this entire woods, apparently. Yeah. They both had the word underneath etched into them. Next episode, 3 minutes in, hey, back to the hotel. Let's get out of here.
They gotta get the fuck out of here.
But they do a fake out because what we discovered recently is Buck is the one who continually saying, all right, back to the hotel. I've got a jacuzzi waiting for me. And it's somebody else is like, wait a second. I see a thing up there. Because they're like, no, we've got to do something. We cannot begin the episode by going home. That's not, there's no story structure that works that way.
Technically, all that's happened is the recap. Like, they found the word and they said all of this in the last episode, and this is kind of rephrasing it and showing us the longer version. They finished the recap of the previous episode and ended that with, let's go home. I'm done. You didn't start yet. You didn't actually start yet. So they see a torch. They see a torch out in the woods. They decide the teleporting wizard, the druid that might maybe shapeshifting into Bigfoot or not. It's not 100% yet. They decide he's out there and he must be heading toward the rock overhang. And they decide, well, that makes no sense for him to head to the rock overhang. Like, surely he's not. But then he changes direction and he heads into. Actually, my notes cut out here. They just say Jason will furiously tell us what this is.
So they're going to spend the rest of this episode, spoiler, saying, well, I think he's going toward that red shed. Wait a second. He's changed directions. Where could he be going now? Guys, he's heading toward that rock overhang. Wait a second. He's not at the rock overhang. I think he's going back to that red shed. And just repeat that for the next 45 minutes or so, and you will have the season finale of Mountain Monsters, season 4 or season 7. Take your pick. Season 5.
Well, before all of that happens, they determine he's not heading for that rock overhang. He's heading for the cornfield.
Right. You forgot about the third spot.
I apologize.
On the
the third location.
You got to get back in that cornfield. Remember when Huckleberry, like, was it a previous episode? It was a few episodes back. I think he tried to get them to come in with him into a cornfield by cooing, "Come on in, boys. The corn's fine." I think that should be their show motto from now on, because they decide they're going in that cornfield. They're going to pincer movement the teleporting wizard. They know he teleports. They're going to pincer him in the cornfield, which is of course the thing they get lost in every single time they set foot in it. This has never been a more doomed expedition than what they're going on right now. All right, Willie starts this off by saying, "Right there's the corn," and Buck says, "There's the corn."
And
they don't even have anything else to say.
Somewhere in here, we do get the drinking game. How in the hell can he move so fast? With the camera and the editor immediately give us a shot of the torch guy moving at the most leisurely pace of somebody
Just
walking
walking
in a shopping mall just trying to kill time.
Did they must have thought they were gonna at least wacky fast motion it?
They did one
They
shot
never have.
like that, and the effects guys decided that looks awful.
No, we're not doing that
doing
again.
that anymore.
It looks so bad.
To be fair, a normal stroll is 4 times their running speed.
Yeah,
Okay,
they
but
shouldn't be aware.
We've made that joke 600 times.
It's not even a joke. I just want people to understand scientifically that's what we're talking about.
But that becomes...
It's hard not to make the same
again,
joke so many times.
Because, hey, they're going to say at least 4 more times in the course of this chase, we just can't keep up. And they're moving at the pace of very elderly people going through gentle terrain. And you would think somebody, Colt Straub, somebody would get back to them and say, look, we can't do that effect. It looked stupid as hell. Because that was 6 episodes ago where the guy zipped into the dimensional door. If this is your first episode, I realize everything we're saying is it sounds like we had a stroke. It's just total nonsense. And they did one shot like that. And you would think there'd be some communication back saying, hey, guys, we can't do that effect. So every time you comment on how this guy is way faster than you, you're kind of making yourselves look like assholes. And we don't want you to look foolish. Do you understand?
Right. Now get in that cuck shower.
Shower for Bigfoot.
Oh, Buck fell down again. Hold on. We need to film that and replay it several times.
Buck fell down. He got knocked off his feet by the corn. Like, getting lost in the corn is already pretty embarrassing. I'm skipping
It
ahead.
hasn't
What?
happened yet.
5 corns?
So Willie and Wild, they've pincered. They're pincering the druid in the corn. With it, that's a sentence. Willie and Wild Bill's team see a light and determine it's not actually, they were following it. It's not the druid's torch. It's just a section of burning corn. And then they think for a second, like, oh no, is he setting a trap for us? And then they stand there and decide, no, he just fell down here or something.
Right. Well, no, for a second, they're like, hey, this means he's close. It's like, yeah, dickhead, you've been following him.
And meanwhile, Buck, Huckleberry, and Jeff's team, they've split off. They start hearing noises, and then after Buck hears like the noise of the corn, he decides he just goes down abruptly. Nothing touches him, nothing hits him. He's not in a high speed pursuit. He's just kind of jump scared by the existence of corn. And he says it's got to be my favorite quote for the episode, so I'm just going to burn it now. He says, I got a corn stalk in the eye.
This is one of the most magical moments in the history of the medium of television, because Buck falls down and the rest of the team think he's improvising a Bigfoot grab. Like, we're in the corn. That's why we're in the corn. Oh no, I got grabbed by a Bigfoot. I fell down. Bigfoot grabbed my ankle. So they all scramble into the, Buck is down. Cover me. I'm going to go get him. But Buck is not acting along with it. Buck assumes this will not be in the show. And it's like, no, I got cornstalk in my eye. Hold on.
Time out.
And then they get up and they just cut to them continuing on the chase, because Buck did not intend for that to be in the show. He just got some corn in his eye and fell down. And the editors are like, no, that's all staying in every time, buddy.
You got a
It might literally be the only thing
eye?
that happens this episode. Like,
Spoiler. We could end the episode here, to be frank.
yep. The end.
So Buck thinks he stops everybody, and he decides, do you hear that? Do you hear that? It's like a whisper. And the effects team doesn't leave him hanging here. They do add a little, like, Lord of the Rings style whisper. Maybe actually literally from Lord of the Rings.
Right.
It sounds to me like the Resident Evil 4 guys in the cloaks. Do you have to shoot in several levels when they're all together? You hear them whispering. I think it's the sound clip from Resident Evil 4. Personally, they probably couldn't legally do that, but
yeah, they could. You can legally do whatever you want when nobody's paying attention. Who's gonna watch this? Who's gonna send this to a lawyer and then the lawyer will watch this? No. The lawyer's not gonna watch it. So they all freeze and they pretend to hear this whisper, and Huckleberry says, these cornfields, I think they're haunted. And Buck says, Huck, I think you're right. ... I hate these cornfields.
And that was my quote of the episode.
Oh,
same.
Because that's what I kept saying as Buck said it. I hate these cornfields. Hey,
Didn't even have a second place.
You don't have to shoot in a cornfield every single week like you're doing now. You don't have to do this. You're in Appalachia. There's lots of cool spots. I know that I banged this drum very hard. There are lots of really cool spots around there you could be shooting. It's the woods. The woods is full of cool little places you could shoot. Spooky places. The woods are spooky.
I mean, you're overlooking a few things. First, all of those places would have to be 25 feet from a major highway. So you take what you can get right there. And second, they would have to be legally allowed in them. Like, you would have to, like, let them into the park or whatever. Nobody, like, imagine their field of influence. Like, they are only willing to drive maybe generously an hour from their homes to film this show. Everybody within that hour has got to be like, fuck off. And the second they see him, just fuck right off. Like, they're limited. There's like 2 cornfields and 2 cornfields in a shed, and I think this is all on somebody's property. I think this is Huckleberry's backyard. I think this is where he got molested by the Bigfoot. Is right there in that shed.
It's his real cuck shower.
If you're just joining us, I'm not making an edgy joke. Huckleberry did. There was an episode where he got molested by a Bigfoot. There was an episode with the Cherokee child bride getting mysteriously murdered on her wedding night. This is not us.
It would be so offensive if we were making all of this up. All we are doing is elevating it to your view and boosting it and trying to bring more money these guys' way.
Yeah, you're right. That's still our fault. Okay. Where were we? All right. So they think they found the wizard, and Buck radios Willie and Wild Bill to tell them, like, we see the wizard, and they radio back, that's impossible. We're looking at the wizard right now, and they're on opposite sides of the cornfield. And that's when they round a corner and find in the distance 3 fires, 3 torches. So my God, do you know what this means? That's right, corn clones. They're corn clones, I'm assuming. Because we go to commercial.
It seriously cuts to Buck later, meaning he's had time to think about it, and he says, something's not adding up.
Okay, but they are going to show the shot of the 3 torches out there and the 3 men in the 3 cloaks, I think 14 times in the next 3 minutes, because they go to ad break and they come back, and every single member of the team has to separately state, well, I just thought there was 1 of them, but there's 3. How can there be 3 out here? But didn't we already know?
One man could light 3 torches. I believe that. You're going to call me crazy, but I think.
But didn't we already know there were multiple cloak guys?
Yes.
Wasn't that already a thing long before now?
But I don't think they knew they were in the cornfield.
Oh, okay.
That's true.
Okay. They didn't know they could go.
Wait, no, Willie just radioed them to say that he saw a guy in the corn while they were looking at a guy in the corn. So now we know that there's, okay. Well, I did like when Willie said, I found a guy in the corn, like that helps. It's like, I found a guy in the maze, sector unknown, like on it.
So they follow the 3 torches. Huckleberry determines they're all going up towards the rock overhang, possibly to erotically shower for Bigfoot. You don't know what they do. And Buck briefly wonders if this whole corn thing was a pointless diversion. And you see him sit with that. As soon as he says it, he's like, oh, all right, we gotta go. He's gotta like physically outrun self-awareness at that point and be like, no, we can't entertain that. Because it was entirely pointless. They've determined nothing. They've learned nothing. They follow the wizards into the woods and then, pincer movement them again. Willie and Wild Bill get down over the rock overhang and they look.
If you don't mind, I want to slow you down a little bit because Buck has asked 50 questions at this point about every detail of every aspect. So while all this is happening, which again is not very much things happening, they found 3 torches in the corn. Buck is asking, who put those torches there? Why did they light those torches? There's not 1 but 3 torches. Why are there 3 torches out here? Why are there 1?
What is fire?
I complained about this like 5 episodes ago, that this is just a rhetorical device that Buck has decided makes things interesting. So he's just looking at really ordinary things with no real answer. Like, why is man in corn is not like, oh yeah, we got to get to the bottom of that. Like,
he does throw in like utterly meaningless ones too. Like, he will say, why is that torch unlit? Why is that torch lit?
Yes.
And you're like,
yeah. What would it mean in either direction? Who cares?
Yeah, you're not going to investigate that. That does not have a bearing. It's not like the mystery that we're here to solve. He just likes to ask questions. I think he might be having some sort of brain difficulties.
So I just wanted to slow this podcast down like the show was slowed down.
Well, it's one of those things that, like, we don't comment necessarily on. Well, I guess we just did, but we don't usually comment on how they cut to a commercial and then they'll come back from commercial and then they'll spend a good 4 minutes recapping everything that happened throughout the entire show. It's just become such like a part of the language of Mountain Monsters that I don't even see it when it happens.
Sure.
And that's what's happening with Buck's questions, is he does it so often. Like, anytime anything happens, we need to cut to a testimonial of Buck going, What does that mean? Where am I? Where's Willie? Does he like me? It's like become chatter to me. It's just like out of my brain. But yeah, it's worth making fun of him for that because that's obnoxious. That's a terrible thing to do. It's bad television. So they are following the wizards. They're back over the psychic Bigfoot erotic shower compound, and they're on Willie and Wild Bill are on top of the overhang looking down, and they can only see sort of a Plato's cave fire type thing. They see somebody down there is having a sweet bonfire. And some shadows and maybe some whispering. And down below, Buck, Jeff, and Huckleberry get into position. They can see the bonfire, too. And they hear the whispers very loud. I do think it's definitely pulled from, I don't know, Resident Evil or Lord. It doesn't sound like something they made. It's definitely one of their, like, we found this on a sound effects album kind of things. And so now that they have them, right, they have them cornered in this gully. There's no escape. They're above them and they're below them. It's a gully. There's only they're walled in. They know there's no other exit to that cave. They've been in that cave. So now it's time to get the fuck out of here.
Get out.
We got to get out.
As Buck says, we got to get out of here before these men discover that we're here.
Yeah. I also, as Buck said, what does the writing down there on the ceiling mean? What are they doing down there? What's down there on that rock overhang? We have a pile of questions.
Also, there's one moment where, because obviously on the day there's no whispering, they're cueing the sound effects guy. You know, I'm hearing spooky whispering out here with the assumption that will be dubbed in later. And so Buck, helpfully to the sound effects team, phrases it as, well, it's like a whisper, but it sounds like they're screaming. And the effects guy you're getting a whisper. I don't know. You're getting spooky whisper.wave. I don't know I don't know how to make that noise you just described.
I can play whisper and scream at the same time, but I don't think that's what you're asking for. It's
maybe that's like a stage whisper. Like, I'm really enjoying our time in the corn. Like that. Is that what? I don't know.
Whose turn is it to shower and whose turn is it to be Bigfoot? It's the little fun game they all play. That's where you play that game. No, they determine they need to get the fuck out of there, and as they leave, Huckleberry says, "Yeah, back off to fight another day." What is a better scenario to fight than today, Huckleberry?
They're never gonna get a better shot.
You didn't fight on this day.
Yeah, you're not going to get it. They don't know you're here. You've got them surrounded on both sides. A better show, any other show, would have them just walking right up that gully and just unloading. Just unloading clip after clip into that cave. Like, you're not going to get another shot. But no, they get out of there. We got to the next day. Buck is in his truck.
Hold on. Something that frustrated me, you just jumped past. After that, Buck starts again with all the same questions. And then at the end of what are they doing in the cornfield? Why are they whispering? He says, why are those two words the same? And then he says, they are in Cherokee. And then Willie says, that's right up your alley. Because of course, Buck's Cherokee blood, which means we are doing the only story beat we've done again after a completely pointless corn chase, where they got to their enemy and left to say, oh, right, we need to go look up that word in Cherokee. That's the progress we've made. It has been 45 hours. I am
in their season finale.
They literally, I can't believe they found the enemy and left.
That's right up your alley.
We just got to go. So the next day, Buck is in his truck. He's recapping it all for their terminally stupid audience. But he does say very smugly at the end, except now I know what the word means. Because he got a hold of his uncle, who was obsessed with Cherokee heritage. And he had an answer in only an hour. Now, I did time it when I went to look up if there had been a Cherokee to English website. I included the time I spent looking up if it had been in existence since 2019. I included the time I spent poking at the little letters and the symbols to match it up. So I was only 57 minutes faster than Buck's uncle, who is obsessed with Cherokee heritage.
I sincerely hope that his uncle, when given this request to find out what this word means, was like, I'm going to have to talk to my people, but that don't come free. It's going to be $500 to, I'm going to have to access the ancient scrolls, and, they don't just bribe some officials they don't just let everybody touch those, to get this forbidden knowledge. If you can Venmo me that money, then I'll see what I can do. It's going to be at least an hour got to go down to the temple.
I mean, get that money. Get that paper, Buck's uncle. You deserve it.
I think they keep the Cherokee dictionary like at the end of an obstacle course or something. I think it just takes a long time to get to it.
It's the only computer terminal on the res, and you have to run the obstacle course.
It's Commodore 64. It takes a while to load.
I'm just picturing the
thing.
exact scene from The Golden Child. Just
right.
Except at the end, there's the Cherokee to English dictionary. So you got to reach into the fire. So he does get it. He does learn what the word means. It means bottom. Means
you're skipping way ahead. No. He tells everybody he knows what the word means, and they spend 4-5 minutes congratulating him. Wow, Great job. No further questions. Terrific job. You looked up the word. Great. Good job, Buck.
Using all of his Cherokee, burning all of his Cherokee connections. He can never use any of them again. He's burned all of those favors. But it does mean beneath or under.
Hold on. You're also skipping Buck pronouncing that word, and he pronounces it like Heil und Hitler.
Okay, because I don't know how to actually pronounce it.
Well, that's how he pronounced it. That's the joke I'm making. He said to his friends, Heil und Hitler.
Okay.
Look, you watch the show. That's what he says.
We're delaying getting to the plot point here that their writer wrote up for them, which is the only two locations in the woods, the Little Red Shed and the rock overhang with the Cuck Rock and the shower, the Bigfoot shower. On the stone above the rock overhang, they had etched the word below. And then on the floor of the red shed had also etched the word below. So as Buck says, what does this mean? Something hidden under both of those locations. This is the thing we made fun of them for not doing last week. Two halves of an amulet fit together, going to go into a lock. It's going to spin around, open a door. There's going to be a little merchant there selling you guns.
What are you buying?
In like a weird enough accent that you're like, is this a racial thing?
Yeah, it might be. Because remember when Buck said he was Cherokee and this is his grandma, and he used that picture that Jason found on the internet of a German immigrant? And now he's like, yeah, I learned how to say it in Cherokee. It is Highland Hitler. You're like, well, it feels like a Stephen Miller tweet where you're like, there's like a lot of like hidden messages in this for like white nationalists. I don't know.
Anyway, they need to go back.
Nazi puzzle.
They need to go back and they need to go back and dig in the cave. But first, we got to get back in that corn. Huckleberry says it almost word for word. He says there's one thing we need to do first. We need to head out there in that cornfield. And Wild Bill backs him up. He says, head to the cornfield, brother.
No. He says we need to wait until it gets dark.
Mm-hmm.
You're
then
right.
Go back into the cornfield. So we're like now a third of the way through the season finale. And if anybody wants to recap what has happened so far.
They found the location of two secret treasures and they said, let's wait and then not go to them.
And that all they've done today is Buck came back and said, he looked up the word. Here's what it means. And then they're like, well, I'm done filming for the day.
Good job,
I don't know
everybody.
about you guys.
They cut away. Yeah, that was the one thing they did that day. And they come back and the text across the bottom of the screen in bold letters, Cornfield investigation, 11:47 p.m.
I gasped.
What other show can you have that text as the chyron at the bottom and it makes sense perfectly within the plot of the show? Yeah, this is the Cornfield investigation. I agree. And it's midnight for some reason.
So they split into their teams, their standard teams, and then they, in their words, head out to work the corn. They've got like special terminology now for getting lost in a cornfield. Gotta go.
All right, let's get lost in the corn.
Time to go work the corn.
Did you make a note of their plan when they got to the cornfield? Did they do any kind of a maneuver on the corn?
Was it just a pincer? Are you setting me up?
Yeah,
for
they
the
split
pincer
into two
maneuver?
teams to pincer the corn.
We don't
Yeah, I
even
said
call it out anymore. Every scene starts with Buck saying, okay, Willie and Bill, you guys go over here in the corn. Me, Jeff, and Huck are going to go this direction, because 40 seconds later, they're going to be back in a group again where they have immediately called off. We've stopped doing the pincer movement drinking game. We've stopped even calling it out because every scene they do this. Like they can be coming up on one location and Buck will have them split up to approach it from two sides, and then they just join up again. It never comes to anything.
And it's always the same teams now, too. So I think maybe they just like having little breaks from each other. They're just like, Willie, Wild Bill, you're just a bit much. So we're going to do a pincer movement where you, I don't know, you go see a movie or something. And
Well, I think those two can move at normal human speed. I mean, I think it might really just be a practical thing that those guys can, like, don't get slowed down by the other fellas.
So Willie and Wild Bill head off. They find a trail in the corn almost immediately. They decide that they're going to hunker down and wait for whatever made it to come back. They do that instead of following the trail. They're just going to, it might come back. We're going to camp here for the rest of the night, maybe.
They do a little bit of Bigfoot stuff here where they're like, ooh, those corn stalks are broken up real high.
That's
like a shattered
Huckleberry.
amnesiac memory.
Yeah, that's
They're gonna
Huckleberry and the other team.
They're going to do that twice. He's going to know, well, you know, you don't ever see corn stalks broken off way high, up high like this. And sometime later, they're going to say, well, guys, I think something big came through here. I'm sorry, that does not count as your Bigfoot in
That
Doesn't
does,
episode.
count.
but that's the only one.
You have to say the word. You have to give me something.
You have to say the word
corn
Bigfoot.
is broken off up high. That's not enough.
That's all they do. That's the lip service they pay to Bigfoot.
It's lazy. It's lazy. I'll say it right now. I'll use the word.
And illegal. It's a contract violation.
Yeah,
they
you are
need
not.
to say Bigfoot once an episode, and that does not count.
You are not getting reimbursed from the West Virginia Board of Education for this film because you did not say Bigfoot.
I spent $700 for 2 hours of a lawyer to tell me that does not legally count as a Bigfoot reference.
But that's it. It's amazing that they think to pay it lip service, but then they don't even say the name. They're just like, no, we're not gonna Bigfoot tease. Jeff decides he hears something and then actually gives us the Skyrim guard. Must have been the wind.
I love it.
Willie and Wild Bill.
Jeff
Willie,
screams "what" into the corn. Like he's not just hearing things like "what."
well, that's next. Willie and Wild Bill also hear something big, and this is coming from the woods. And then Buck advises the team to keep an eye out for, and I quote, anything glowing. Just. Yeah, I think we would. We might, notice if anything is glowing out here in the dark in the cornfield.
Covers your torches, your ghosts, your will-o'-the-wisps.
And then we go back to Jeff. Jeff pauses and just goes, "What?" at the corn, like there are corn sirens. Like there are corn sirens out there trying to lure him into the stalks.
How did he sort of said it like someone's like Jeff, and he's like, "What?" Like it's very funny.
So Huckleberry and Buck, they hear something behind them outside the cornfield, and they completely abandon Jeff, who surely won't wander off into trouble again, where he will be found wet and nude and weeping, as is his fetish. And peed, freshly peed. I'm sorry, I forgot about the pee. There's like as they wander off and leave him behind, there's a far shot where you can see the cameraman following them closely, and it's being filmed by yet another cameraman farther out. So we've got like tiered cameras. There's a camera really close to Buck and Jeff, and a camera like that has the overall view of it, so that you can be absolutely sure everybody noticed Jeff was not there. Everybody, several cameramen, everybody noticed, okay, we don't have Jeff, and they did not give a shit.
Can I point out that in the last episode, Buck had these beings imitate his mother? Remember that? Mm-hmm. Because Buck was like, that don't make any sense. That my mom would be here. Why would mom be out here? Mom? She's like, oh, your dad's here too. He's like, well, that don't make no sense. That dad would also be here. So
Dad, I love
Dad
you.
hates corn.
but he never, at no point does he say like, oh, Jeff, you be careful. They can imitate voices. If you're hearing somebody talking to you, instead he just acts like, he like says to Huckleberry, well, do you hear anything? I don't
This
hear
fucking
nothing.
idiot.
That's weird.
I didn't
It's
even
what, the
queue up
15th
the
time
sound
they've
effect.
encountered like mind powers or audio powers. It's at no point do they ever think, oh, this must be a supernatural creature whispering to us.
Or, hey, maybe they could have a procedure for when this happens, considering this has been happening since episode 4 of the show. They were mind controlled by the Mothman. They are very familiar because one of them got Mothman mind poisoning that manifested itself as a light cough and a little bit of some nausea.
It's
Get a
falling
cat
down.
leash for Jeff is what Jason is pitching.
Do you ever stop and think that, like, maybe none of these cryptids have a psychic element, and, like, this is just how gullible they are? Like, they're just walking through their day, constantly being like, they'll encounter the guy at the tire store and be like, I got tire store guy hypnosis. Like, no, he didn't.
About 74 tires.
Yeah, he just
How did he do
upsold
it?
you. Like, you're just really suggestible. No, so they lost Jeff, and they hear him back in the court, and they charge in after him, and they radio Willie and Wild Bill for help. So it's time to abandon the pincer movement, like Jason said, and get them all back together into one place. They do get a little distracted. They see a torch burning, and Willie and Wild Bill, they crouch down to engage stealth mode, of course, with headlamps and camera lights fully turned on. Buck decides, actually, maybe Jeff doesn't need help after all, and he starts just the search into the court again. And he just freezes to do his Jurassic Park face because he's seen something. He's heard something incredible, which is more corn whispers. Just more corn whispers. Sultry. They're sounding sultry to me. I'm just going to say it. I'd head out there to have a good time in that corn, if that was me. So Willie and Wild Bill have followed the wizard into the corn again, and what he does is he spins his torch around, and he lights another torch with it, just to have a little bit of style. He's just like, yeah, cool torch move. And then he lights another torch. They watch him do it, and then they watch him walk away. They give it a minute, and then they run up on it and go, what the hell? It's another torch. Why is there a torch here? How is it lit?
They react to that torch as if it was a T-Rex, as if an actual dinosaur was in the middle of the cornfield. They are just stunned, and they have never seen it. It's just a pretty standard torch. It's a little, like it's got like multiple sticks, and it's like, well, yeah, let's make it bigger.
They play it. They play it like they've maybe never seen fire before. Like this is this is cavemen discovering fire.
Yeah.
They're just like, what? What is this? How did it happen?
It's the 6th torch they've seen in 24 hours.
Hot but bright and dancing. How?
Is it alive?
I touch. Oh, bad. Touch bad. So on the other team, Buck and Huckleberry.
Bad? How is touch bad? Why
How is touch bad? Touch normally good.
Something's not
Touch
adding up.
normally cool to tepid, but now hot? Hot touch? No, and it's still less annoying than the thing Buck does. Meanwhile, Buck and Huckleberry, they're out searching for Jeff again. They take a turn in the cornfield, and Buck screams because he's just found Jeff in full garden gnome mode, the most gnomey he has ever been. And what's happening is he is being gently pet and stroked by a dark wizard. And normally, okay, we're going to do it. Normally, we don't do sound clips on this show because we're worried that if we open those floodgates, that's it. Imagine like the Sonic hellscape we'd be locked in if we put that scream Jeff made when he found like the stranger in the Psychic Bigfoot, the first Psychic Bigfoot episode. You give a little that would be the theme song. It would just be him going over and over again. So we have to show restraint. But we did take a sound clip, and this is the sound Jeff makes when Buck stumbles on him, looking like a full garden gnome, being gently pet like a little kitty cat by a dark wizard. I'm gonna play it now.
I don't have a clue. There's another track here. Oh! What the hell? Jeff? 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 Did you see that? Where'd that clip figure go? Looks like it's whispered in his ear.
My notes just say ha 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 for like 1,000 words.
I like how they react to him. They're like, Jeff? Jeff? Who's your friend? Does he like to party? I mean, he seems real nice and affectionate.
Here's the hell that we're trapped in. This moment happens almost exactly halfway through this episode. My notes 2 lines above this say, this is the worst episode so far. Because it had been, these are like 45 minutes without the ads in them, kind of streaming. Mm-hmm. It's like 23 minutes in, and they have been walking around in corn for 21 of those 23 minutes, just killing time in their season finale. And I had to know, like, this is the worst episode. Like, there's not even anything to make fun of here. They're just wandering around corn for 20 minutes, just desperately trying to improvise something with these cloaks and the torches, and they're having to pretend to be they had to like riff for 5 minutes on, wow, look at that torch in the ground, what can this mean? Like, they just needed a light. It's just a, what are you talking about? It's just marking a location.
Yeah.
And then you get Jeff being stroked by the man in the cloak, and he does that witch cackle that they dubbed in. And it's like, oh, this is the best episode they've ever done.
Yeah. All's forgiven.
I'm back.
He did a costume change. I think I want to be clear. Didn't he have like a little gnome on, a little outfit on?
I swear to God he did. I can't picture it as anything else.
Is that just something my mind created?
If that's what your mind created the exact same thing.
Okay.
It's just maybe it's just impossible not to see him as dressed as a garden gnome when he's got this weird little smile and he's making a witch cackle with reverb on it. Being pet by a dark wizard, by a dark Bigfoot wizard. Remember that's Bigfoot. Remember that's also Bigfoot. That guy. Probably.
So then I guess the wizard leaves, and then Jeff scampers away at top Jeff speed. Picture a normal man walking. I know you think you're going to do this stupid joke again, but then cut it in half. And then cut it in half. Now, cut it in half. That's the whole bit. I know I'm frustrating you, Jason, but that's the speed at which Jeff was moving.
Let's talk about this for a moment. Okay, let's stop the entire show to talk about this. Sometimes the editors of the show Mountain Monsters get so frustrated with the speed at which these men walk that they do a fast forward silent film effect to make them walk faster when the shot is them leaving a scene and they're like walking out of frame. And they will speed that up to have to go, because the editor's like, okay, enough. Like, go, can you not walk? Is this seriously the speed at which you men walk?
These are 45-minute episodes.
So no, they hit on this over and over again, because they're going to run after Jeff, and it's Buck running at Buck top speed after Jeff at Jeff top speed, both of them running through corn, which as they've already demonstrated, borderline deadly danger here.
Yeah, right in your eye. One gets in your eye, you're done. You got corn eye.
We make fun. This is a real true story. I canceled a podcast 2 days ago because my 2-year-old stabbed me in the eye with her finger, and I literally couldn't see out of it for 8 hours. I was like, I had to go to the clinic and get shit from my eye. I was legally blind from a baby finger. So I can sympathize with the cornstalk taking you out.
My eyes are clinically terrible. I can sympathize with eye injuries, but I can't sympathize with it being a stationary cornstalk that you get in your eye. Like, that's your fault.
At least the baby had like accumulated goo in her fingernails and took a chunk out. It's the
baby has agency to claw and stab.
Right.
That's true.
But also, Sean, did you wind up flat on your back on the floor when that happened?
God, I really wanted to, but I would have dropped a baby.
So they're pursuing Jeff through the corn, and they come across another freestanding door into a different dimension. And then Jeff takes like a hard right, and they just leave the door behind. They're like, oh, that's not important.
Right.
They've grown bored, much like they've grown bored with and started skimming over Bigfoot. They have grown bored with and started skimming over doors to another dimension. They're like, fuck that. That's not part of this.
But
And
now
they just
Jeff is in
Yeah.
another dimension, right?
No, I think he takes off down the corn because Buck doesn't
Man,
pursue
I thought he
through the
went
door.
through the door.
Well, Buck, if that's true, Buck just leaves him.
Yeah, no, they left him in the other dimension. I think in the fiction he went to another dimension. Buck does think there's a connection between all these outside magic doors, but like that's as far as his thinking takes him. He doesn't think maybe we should go into the dimension and get Gnome Jeff and bring him back.
So Jeff got isekai'd into a different dimension.
Right.
He's
in a universe where the Beatles never existed, and
Yeah.
he is making a killing.
he's in a universe where peeing yourself is the coolest thing you can ever do. Everybody loves peeing yourself.
He invented pocket ham in Dimension X.
They don't have pocket ham here. So they're looking for Jeff. They run back into the rest of the team. Wild Bill wants to know how Jeff got lost, which is wild because it's the main thing Jeff does. Just like a scared dog on the 4th of July. His job is to just run away. Buck says they need to find Jeff, and Wild Bill very sarcastically says, "Yeah, that's our main priority right there is to find that dude."
I'm glad you read that as sarcastic also.
He said it's super sarcastic. It was like, yeah, fucking, let's go look for Jeff. Am I right, guys?
Because God forbid we investigate a monster or try to trap a monster or try to get some sort of resolution. No, let's devote more episode to just finding one of our team members who has wandered off,
Just
which, by
wandered
the
off.
way, now happens in every episode.
He's gotten lost in corn in another dimension. He's in another dimension's corn. They're never finding him. So they wander the corn yelling Jeff's name until they hear the corn Nazgul again. They spot another torch and Buck says, "It's the same torch the cloaked figure lit earlier." Because I guess he was watching the show, because he's not supposed to know that. Regardless, they were once again flabbergasted at a torch. This is another, I want to say 3 minutes of torch work that we're doing. We're just, vamping on the existence of a torch.
Describing how it's made, it's like it's got 6 sticks bound together with some sort of grapevine or something. Almost like they just wanted a torch that was a little bit thicker, that could burn longer. So they just tied some sticks together.
And
Buck says,
Huckleberry,
it means something.
Huckleberry ends it, by saying, "There's something to this torch." You can't do 4 minutes of torch work and then be like, "I think there's something." All right. So another wizard approaches, and Buck very naturally says, "Well, now this one doesn't have a lit torch. What's he doing?" And
It's fascinating when they're lit. It's twice as fascinating when they're not lit. Torches. How can they be?
sure enough, he goes up and he daisy chains his unlit torch off of the lit one, like a smoker without a lighter, and then he just kind of wanders off. And they're like, "Oh my god, that's the answer. This is where they get their torches lit."
Yeah.
I love that there are these shape-shifting men in cloaks who they think can become Bigfoot pedophiles. And the one aspect, the only thing they find fascinating is the fact that they have torches. Mm-hmm. It's like these torches I wouldn't even notice the torch. It's like, yeah, it's night. They're using the torch to see. It's light. And
Yeah.
it would look stupid if a wizard was carrying a flashlight.
Yeah, right?
That's not, but they're obsessed with, he's carrying fire again. And this one doesn't have fire on his, but now it does. It's like he's lighting it. And now he's got fire on his thing and he's carrying it around. It's like, well, that's incidental. Find out what they're doing here aside from that. Because if you were here during the day, they probably would not have torches because they'd be able to see.
See, I think
that's
it's
even more fascinating. The lack of torch. What does that mean?
What does that mean? How does that happen? does fire go away? I know fire come. Fire leave? I think it's because, all right, I think that you have to use the torches, right? Because, like, if you see a Bigfoot with a torch, which they have seen in the past, they've been like, holy shit, Bigfoot has mastered fire. That's a very worrying thing. Now, if they're a guy and they're carrying a torch, that's very mysterious. A guy carrying a flashlight, that's okay. You will accept that. Like, he needs a flashlight to see. But then if he turns into Bigfoot, what you've got is Bigfoot carrying a flashlight. And that's just funny. Right. Like, that's not... Nobody's like, oh no. Like, you gotta worry about the outfit. You gotta worry about the fit check as the wizard and as the Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm. If you get killed by a Bigfoot with a flashlight, Frank Dukes would call that a very bad death. Yeah,
so that's exactly silly. What that guy was talking about. Cutscene from Bloodsport.
Sorry for taking over the plot synopsis, but I wanted to make a very strong point here. They hear a childlike scream, and they know it's Jeff. And so they leave the corn for the woods, because that's Jeff. So they're leaving the Cornfield investigation, having learned nothing, and they're down a man. They just walked into the corn. We're like, what are torches? How do torches? And they lost Jeff, and that is their full mission, and then they put it on TV. That's the point I'm trying to make, is that they did very much less than nothing.
So yes, that's what they do. They see Jeff inside the red shed, because I guess that's very close to this cornfield. Mm-hmm. And Buck says, Jeff, like all annoyed. It says it like you would have when your dog gets too focused on a smell on a walk. You're like, Jeff, come on, get out of that shed. Jeff, out of that shed. Jeff doesn't respond, and Buck determines he's got to be the one that has to go in and get Jeff out of that shed, despite being the only member of the team who has been hypnotized in a shed as well. So we've got both members of the team that are hypnotized in sheds going in to save each other. It's just throwing a guy in to save somebody else in quicksand. You're like, I'm going to jump in there and get him. No, you're not. Now you're both in quicksand. That doesn't help anybody. Buck very naturally says, well, Jeff, you're bleeding, bud. Jeff, where did that blood come from? And then Jeff leans over and spits out a full mouthful of blood. And that's when Huckleberry says something Jeff has never heard before and will never hear again. Huckleberry says, well, he looks like a damn prize fighter.
Okay, I'd argue he does not. He looks more like a cartoon pig getting disqualified in a pie eating contest. I'm just reading what it says in my notes.
Yeah, it's not. No, it's very much just a filthy hillbilly covered in blood. What he looks so tough and majestic, like a prize fighter, as he's just coughing blood up in a hillbilly jack shack, sitting cross-legged. No, this is. So Buck settles in for a heart-to-heart, where Jeff tells him the man in the black cloak told Jeff to bring him here alone. And Jeff says, the man in the black cloak can't see without his torch. So, so we're fighting Elden Ring bosses now. You guys are fucked.
Yeah.
You can't dodge roll. You got a full tank build. That's not viable. So Buck asks why the guy wanted to be led here, and Jeff says, well, he showed me something. And Jeff says he knows what's in here, and he points sitting cross-legged on the floor of the shed, covered in blood, and he points very toddler-like to a hole, like, over there is the bad thing. And it's a hole in the shed. I think Buck dug it up earlier. And Buck goes over there, and he goes like, oh, there's something here. And he takes it out of the hole that's been dug there. And he says, oh, it's like a puzzle. And like, God, my heart just sank.
This whole thing, because they were supposed to come here to dig up the treasure. That's why they looked up the word in Cherokee. Instead, they went to the corn, and they go to the shed where they're going to dig up the treasure. There's a hypnotized man pointing at the hole that's been dug up. And Wild Bill says, what's he pointing at, Buck? And Buck says, fuck him for saying this. I don't know. Like, this is the treasure hole that... Oh, fucking idiot.
Then says to Jeff, how did you know this was here? And Jeff says, he told me.
What?
You had a Cherokee writing that said underneath. You began this episode saying the literal words, well, boys, we need to get our shovels. We've got to do some digging. We've got 2 things to dig up underneath the red shed and underneath the rock overhang. In this moment, Buck 100% forgot all of that.
All of it. Yeah.
God, it makes your heart sink. What he dug up was a 5-piece jigsaw puzzle. And
You give this to a 1-year-old. And that's not a joke. This is a puzzle for babies.
But that's not the point. The point is what
it does
they
take the whole
find-
team to solve it, is the point.
Well, right. It does. Yeah, they have quite some difficulty putting this 5-piece puzzle together when it's very obviously a symbol of like a face. It's extremely clear where the pieces go. It's one of those symbols that they had been seeing everywhere, like the painted you described as like a halo banner or whatever. And this time they put it together and they're like, and they all gasp and recoil. They're like, that's the symbol for the Cherokee Devil.
Nope.
So now, with like 3 minutes left in the season finale, guess what we have found out? The Cherokee Devil might be here.
You erotically showered for him.
Hey, you came to hunt him here 4 years ago in 2015. This is 2019. You've been back here 17 times.
Yeah, but Buck is like, oh my God, that's the Cherokee Devil, not, oh, hey, I know this guy's wife. Which would have been probably the more natural reaction.
It's our old friend, the seventh member of the team, the Cherokee Devil.
You know the chair where he masturbates. Like, that's more than any of my friends know about me. They'll never guess which chair I use.
You know the Cherokee Devil better than we know each other on this podcast.
You know what he's into. You know what sick shit he's into.
Also, it's a 4-eyed skull. It's a pretty cool tattoo, but it is definitely not a Bigfoot.
But what matters, as much as we're criticizing, they now have one of their 2 pieces of the amulet. So they came here. You have the 2 locations, the two markings that said underneath, dig here. They've got one of them. So what's the next thing they need to do?
We need to get the fuck out of here.
Get out of here. Forever. End of storyline. They pack up and go. Buck saying, hey, we found it. Damn, what a find, boys. And yeah, this is, Wild Bill says the phrase, we came to get it and we got it. Done. The one thing we said we had to come get.
No, you came here to do corn stuff. We saw. You got tricked into doing this by a wizard.
So they're heading away, presumably happy at this point to end the episode, having found half of the amulet they need to unlock something else. It was never... The Cherokee Devil isn't the final boss. This is all to get to Spearfinger, remember? So they, even if they found both halves of that amulet, it still wouldn't be over, and they're still like, job's done. And then he stops and he realizes, no. This is too easy. The wizard wanted them to find this. And like... so Buck heads back to the red shed to gently pry up more floorboards. And that's where he finds something big wrapped in burlap, which, as we know, because we've watched ahead, we watched the Sons of Appalachia teaser episode, it's the only way to contain evil. Burlap contains evil.
I wrote down in my notes, if this is a fucking torch, I'm going to strangle Buck with my bare hands. And I'm a man of my word, so I just want him, if he's listening.
It's coming. So they hear a shriek outside the shed. And they all start doing the yelling and panic thing. We're all yelling and panicking. And the cameraman has he's got a new tactic lately, which is where he runs, the cameraman will run, and he'll shake the camera around a lot while trying to film them to hide the fact that they're not trying to run anymore. They're just doing kind of a high-shouldered walk, like when their crosswalk is kind of running out, but you're not really going to hurry. They're doing that. It's just like it's going to make it look dramatic. It doesn't. They make it about 20 feet away from the shed, and they unwrap it only to realize they're going to get strangled to death by Sean. It's a torch. It's a torch. And Buck says, wait a minute. We've seen this before in the strategy guide that the puzzle master gave them. He gave him a book. He's given him a full movie.
Here's what's
where
great.
every scene.
No, they didn't. They show every page of that book, and there's no torches in there. I don't know if you noticed that, but
I'm just saying he gave him a video guide and a written walkthrough guide. He's given them both forms of guide. Yes. And they never used it, as far as I've seen. They've never used the book.
They forgot about it until
they forgot about the book.
So they head back to the truck, and they find that somebody's left something on the tailgate of the truck. And Buck approaches it very gently, and he says, "It might be a bomb." And then he screams, and he points off in the woods, like, "Who's that?" And then the camera, like, swings up there. And then we don't see anything, because it's just blackness. And it's because the skeleton guy who's out there has forgotten to turn his flashlight on cue. But after giving it a good 5 seconds, he turns the flashlight on and shows his face.
That's right, guys. It's the original hillbilly jigsaw, table saw, the one that kidnapped them whenever that was, 800 episodes ago. It feels like a very long time ago. Mm-hmm. And hauled them out there to that little area. This is the first of the hillbilly. No, this was Rogue Team 3, because there was the Rogue. Okay, it doesn't matter. It's the Rogue Team. It's a few Rogue Teams ago.
There are too many. Right. There are too many Rogue Teams to keep track of. It's
not the guy who gave them the film strip in the woods. That was the guy with the burlap sack. That was a separate thing. This is the guy who...
This is the skeleton mask guy. This is the guy that was disappointed in him in the truck.
This is the guy... No, listen. Okay, listen. Listen. This is the guy who told them, "Go capture the woman of the woods, and we will give you the corpse of the Stonish giant." Which, by the way, not in good shape by this point. I think it was 2014 that they shot the Stonish giant. So that if they don't have that thing on ice, there's not much to recover. Okay, anyway, but the way they framed it is you just see his face, and he's like right there, and the Buck's like, "I'm going to go get him. I've got this time for payback," and runs that direction. And then you realize that the skeleton mask Jigsaw is in, I think, a Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, he's in the sensible sedan.
A sensible sedan that he goes speeding off down the road. It's not any kind of like a super villain vehicle. It's just like a sensible,
it's not even a. You couldn't even get him a black BMW. Like, you can rent that for the day. It's not that expensive.
Could you imagine if he had like a wacky racist car?
That would have been so good if he had a skeleton mask car or something.
No, guys, it's a black SUV.
Black SUV.
It's a black villain SUV. You can rent one. You can go to whatever rental car place. Say, "We need a black SUV for one day." It's like $40.
They use Wild Bill's grandma's car again.
It's just a very sensible sedan, and he peels out in it. Because, I mean, say what you will, it's always going to start. It's nice and reliable. That's the last thing you want. Temperamental foreign car out there in the woods. So he peels out, and they go back to the package. They find a note.
He saw them go into the woods. He had to have parked there for like 4 to 5 minutes waiting for them to be done with their mission.
He knew. Like, he was like...
He's been there almost a full commercial break.
Can you imagine sitting there, you've put your little box, your mystery box on the back of Buck's tailgate, and you're in your car, and you see them coming, like, "Oh, here they are." And now you've got to wait for them to walk to your location. How long would that seem?
Plus, he probably made this box 5 years ago. He's waiting for them just to dig at the place that says dig at the place they go several times a year.
I mean, this is not the one that gave them the tape. So the last time he interacted with them was when Buck ran away from the woman in the woods. Like, they went to hunt him. Buck actually got face to face with her and decided to flee instead of capturing her. And then he met him in the truck, and he was just really disappointed. He's like, "What did we talk about? You were supposed to get the woman in the woods." And then he just watched them get distracted by, I don't know, 6 different side quests out here. I understand why he's here. I understand why he's here to be like, "Listen, we got to get you guys back on track." So he left a note attached to his package. And that note it says maybe the meanest thing that you could say. And it says, "You got further than I expected."
Oof.
Brutal.
Yeah,
Brutal.
They got one of two treasures from places they go to often, the 10-minute walk from each other, and it took them years.
It took them 5 years.
This is dark, but one of their members died of natural causes before they did it.
This is true. You got further than I expected is the meanest thing you could say in that scenario. And anyway, and it also says, are you ready to see the rest of the film? So I guess
This is not the film guy.
This is not the film guy.
They have the
didn't
wrong
remember that.
jigsaw. They forgot which jigsaw showed them the film in the Dark Forest. It is explicitly not the same guy.
It's not the same guy. Different masks and everything.
The plot makes no sense if it's the same guy.
So he's got the rest of the film. I guess he realized they weren't going to solve the other guy's mystery of go to the several places I've shown you on this film. They were never going to get there. So he's
because at the rate you guys are dying, you're not all gonna
make it. So they open the package. It's all wrapped up in paper inside the burlap, and we all get the very natural reaction line of "Whoa, hot dang! What the son of a bitch!" End of episode. Cut away to a Scarecrow Joker cackle. Art successfully made. End of season finale.
Now, here's the thing where you listeners are going to get to just have to wait 2 weeks for us to come back and tell you the reveal here. The fans at the time had to wait over a year. They went off the air for 13 months until from 2019 to early 2020, I think January 2021. So that's where creatively, as like a creator, storyteller myself, when you do that kind of cliffhanger, you're basically writing a check for yourself. Like, can I cash this in? Can I make this pay off so that when they come back 13 months from now, they'll feel like it was worth the buildup. And so now that they've got a writing staff eager to see what they came up with, because again, to be clear, the note on top said, "Are you ready to see the rest of the film?" But the box did not contain the film strip. When they open the box, they react as if it was a severed head in there.
Yeah.
And then we don't see what's in the box. We cut away, but it's literal mystery box storytelling. A great season finale leaves you wanting more.
I seriously just now realized that I've seen the next episode and I don't know what's in that box.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Did they not tell
Jamie, can you kill Sean? He has spoiled something.
No, Sean just wasn't paying attention.
It was so uninteresting to me that they opened a box and didn't know that I just now realized that they don't tell us next episode.
But will they?
Episode,
will we find out? We'll see.
Save it for the next episode.
We'll see. What a fucking disaster. All right, our favorite quotes of the episode. I'll go first this time. My favorite quote is, it's already been taken, of course, but if I pick a new one, it's when they found Baby's first jigsaw puzzle. And Buck gathers up all the pieces in his arms, again like a toddler. And he says, "I think we should take it with us." Fucking, can you imagine if they didn't?
No, Robert, they normally do not. That's actually the first time it's occurred to them to collect a piece of evidence and take it back.
It almost didn't. It almost didn't occur to them. They almost got out of there. Buck thought about it at the last minute, like, we should take this puzzle with us.
Take the magic puzzle.
That's it. I just love that moment. How about you, Sean?
Oh, I didn't even have a second place. I hate these cornfields was my number one, and I had no backup.
I got a dang cornstalk in my eye, just full of bangers. Full of bangers.
That was fun too.
Jason.
This one was really easy to miss. It was about 25 minutes into the episode when they were all out in the corn. And there's a moment where Jeff says, I don't think I did it right. Do you want to play the audio file? I can't. I practiced it before the show.
Let's go out. Let's go out one more time.
Jeff? 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 Jeff?
Cause you had to be a Bigfoot, didn't you? You had to open up your mouth. You had to be a Bigfoot, didn't you? All your friends were so knocked out. You had to have the last word last night. You know what everything's about. You had to have the white hot spotlight. You had to be a Bigfoot last night. Whoa, whoa.